Cactus care, cactus seedlings. I brought a lot. Not as many as usually, but a lot. Check them out. These have been sown out maybe 2.5 months ago on the stream, and I'm proud to show them today. I have a lot that I want to go through today, and I also brought a few that are still in the plastic bag to have the humidity there, usually a little smaller. So we will go through these. I brought that chili seedling that I want to repot, just little chili plant. And I want to do cactus seeds today again. I have a lot of different cactus seeds, different Zerenzia seeds, Zerenzia hybrids, Echinopsis hybrids, and I want to clean the seeds. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Great to have you. I just came home. I was visiting my parents. So yeah, I was a little short on time, but I made it. I'm glad that I made it. So thank you for being here. Maybe doing a little seed today too. I want to make a little progress there. But apart from that, hope you have a great weekend. Happy Saturday. Happy Valentine's Day, I guess, you know. I don't want to be too harsh on Valentine's Day. Maybe I judged it too harshly. So have a nice day today. Making the most out of the weekend. So yeah, and I was visiting my parents because I wanted to do that. And was important that I did it. So let's get started. I guess I will go through the containers. Always happy to take questions. If not, we would just discuss the cactus stuff that I have here. And again, I also brought a box full of like paper bags, full of cactus seeds that I want to take a look at later. So yeah, we will see what we do. This is one of the feathers hybrids that I have sown out. I had this at the heater, but been trying to get this to germinate repeatedly, but so far nothing. This doesn't look good. Genetically, this could be like a total failure on a genetic basis. We will see. But I'm unhappy that I didn't get any seedlings here. I will close it up again, but this is already getting to the point where I consider trashing it. I just don't have that much space, and when you use it for stuff that just doesn't come up, maybe we're doing a second round with this one, but that's it. So let's see what we have here. I see good and bad. So here was a seedling. Yeah, this one, this whitish thing. That was a cactus seedling that just expired. So there's a little fungal infection now that overtook that seedling, and we need to take that one out. Apart from that, here's another seedling that has germinated. Something is on top of it. So either it germinated upside down, or something is stuck on the tip. So we will have to look at that. But at least we have a seedling here. Let's take the bad one out. Very often, if you take out a fungal infection, like if you remove that thing that started it, you get rid of it. So let's get a little trash can here. And now I will check on the seedling, that other one. It probably germinated upside down. Yes. So I will just turn it around. You can barely see it there. Just a little green thing. And every now and then when the seed germinates, it just doesn't come up right. The seedling doesn't come up right. And that was the case here. So I will try to fix it carefully because these are so tiny, so fragile. It could already be too much what I'm doing. But since it was upside down, there wasn't really a chance that it would have made it. So let me get a little bit of water here. Just a little bit. To make sure that the little seedling that just germinated here doesn't dry out. Okay, let's see what it is. This is from Bamboy. Bamboy is a good hybrid. The mother of these seeds that produced the seeds had a very big flower and very good color. Best of both worlds, if you ask me, one of the best hybrids that I have seen in the last time. And if we can get that little seedling to a large size, then it could be the best thing ever. It could be insane. Like every hybrid with Bamboy, I see incredible potential. Even if it's just coming out similar to the mother, to Bamboy itself. So yeah, but the seedling here is tiny. So I'm not really super optimistic about the future. We will see how the thing does, how it develops, and if it develops, because it's already disadvantaged because it came up upside down. So, and I'm not sure how long it was there, but sometimes a few days can already be too much for these little seedlings. So let's open this one up. These are still too small to take them out of the bag. I try to leave them in a bag for 2 or 3 months. But these here, you can see how much of a difference there is between the seedlings, like the size. This one's so, I didn't want to touch it, but this one's so big, and the others are so small, and that makes it difficult to take this whole thing out of the bag. When you take them out of the bag, it's a little safer in regards to fungal infections and fungus gnats. But apart from that, you also have new risks that you didn't have before. So some of the smallest the smallest seedlings in this container are just so small that I don't think I can take them out of the bag yet. And I would really like to do that, because just from the age, they have the age where they should already be much bigger, like this one, you know, or maybe like that one seedling in the mix that is much bigger. At the very least, the others should have that size, and the fact that they are not that size tells me that genetically not everything's going great. There might have been a problem. A close relative was in town. I'm not sure what happened here, like genetically, but it's a Hilde-Winterer hybrid, Hilde-Winterer or Acacia hybrid. So that means that very often the seedlings have variegation, genetic defects. Sometimes it can look cool. You can have monstrose or crested seedlings, but sometimes you just have 6 seedlings, and some of them look like that, you know? So we will see. Okay, in this one, I don't like what I see. For one, this was in the old soil. In the beginning, we used a soil called cemetery soil, this black soil that is just made to not get overgrown easily by weeds. There's a lot of root bark in it, and a lot of people warn from that. Like, it's not really something that is ideal, but for little seedlings it can work very well, and I tested it here, and yeah, it worked. Okay, but it also had a lot of problems with fungus gnats. Like those woody parts that were in the soil kind of attracted fungus gnats like flies, honey, you know. It was really, they instantly started to be a problem. And in this one, I see a seedling that looks like it could have been fungus gnats. Here's a seedling that's just gone, disappeared. So I'm taking that out because I don't want to have a rotting seedling in a pot. And apart from that, it looked like it was fungus gnats. They often eat everything inside the seedling, and the only thing that is left is the skin. And that's what I saw here. So I will take them out of the bag now. I'm just unhappy that I found this in a closed container. When I see this in a closed bag, then I usually take them out when I can. When the seedlings have the right size, I take them out. So that's what we will do here, and they are not really super big, not really super safe to take them out now. But it just has to happen. I mean, if that seedling really expired due to fungus gnats, then they would claim another and another and another. So to be on the safe side, I take it out. But knowing very well that this will lead to me having to water quite a lot in the first days, I need to spray them all the time. Okay. These will get water again in 2 or 3 hours. And by that time, it will be necessary because that soil dries out so fast. Okay. Yeah, looking good. These are Pseudolobivia, and I really like that kind of hybrid. I saw the mother plant has an amazing flower, and every seedling here has potential. I consider taking them out very soon, maybe today, because I want to start fertilizing them. There are 1 or 2 seedlings that are still a little bit too small to take them out. And when you do that, like when you take them out, then that means that you can lose those, the smallest of the smallest. But sometimes it can be good to do it anyway. You are just at some point they will have to face the elements. They will have to face the normal conditions that they would experience in my greenhouse or outside in the garden in summer. So I try to not pamper them, not grow them in a weak way, bloating them with nutrients, that kind of stuff. I'm very careful about not overwatering in the beginning. That is something that's really something that I try not to over fertilize. I don't want to really blow the seedlings up. I want them to grow slow, but in a healthy way. Healthy cells that are somewhat able to resist infection when they come out. In one case that I remember, I had grown seedlings where I had really pushed them, and I had pushed them too hard. I saw them that they were getting bigger and bigger, but in an unhealthy way, like that the cells couldn't really stretch wide enough. It just looked weak, and within a month or two, all those seedlings had some sort of a fungal infection that just claimed all the seedlings. Like the whole container was gone. And that's the one situation that I remember with over fertilizing, where I really saw it in front of me, how unhealthy the seedlings can be if you do it wrong, if you fertilize wrong, especially when you have that fertilizer that is excessively high in nitrogen. You don't want to produce a lot of biomass. You want to have healthy growth, flowering, plants being able to not get infections and humidity, classic health stuff. Hey, mate. Yes, I mean, the seedlings need water. Yes, of course, The seedlings here, they get water three or 4 times a day. They get sprayed. But you also have to be careful about not to overdo it. In particular here, it was due to the fungus gnats that I tried to suppress. So you try to find the sweet spot between watering, in this case 3 times a day, and watering excessively, like 4 or 5 times a day. It makes the difference if fungus gnats continue to be a problem in the medium after I take them out. And it's what instantly ended the fungus gnat problem here. But it also means that I have to invest a lot of time to water them. Really, really lot of time. And it's not fun. You're constantly spraying. Yesterday evening, you know, I had to go down again because I remembered it. If you have them in a bag, it's definitely a lot easier. It's a lot more comfortable. But at some point, you can't keep them in the bag anymore. So yeah, let's discuss these here. Some variegated seedlings in between, really very variegated, unhealthily variegated. This is Roro, Humkis Roro. And yeah, we have a few green ones that are the hope, the shining hope in between this. So maybe we can get a few healthy flowering plants from that. Humkis Roro has such a nice flower that it would be worth it. That it would be great to kind of, I don't know, have a hybrid with Humkis Roro that reliably produces healthy offspring. You know, that would be great. Maybe I can improve that thing a little. It has a beautiful, amazing flower. Body, it has that Echinopsis kind of body, but it's a Hildewinterer hybrid or something like that. And yeah, so with an Echinopsis body, that's really unusual. And it would be good to have that in a way that is superbly healthy. In this case, most of the seedlings aren't that. We will have to see what comes from it. Like long term, I'm not really sorting them out now. But if something expires, I'm not grafting the fully variegated seedlings. So if something expires, I just take it out, and we will focus on the healthy ones. They might still have some problems, you know, even the healthy ones. We will have to see. Wait and see. Okay. For now, this still needs to be in the bag, and these are very old, like among the first seedlings that I have sown out on the stream. So they should already be big enough to take them out of the bag. I would love to have them out of the bag now, because then you can start fertilizing a little bit more without always having to open the bag. You can do it, but I avoid it because it also means you have a lot of nutrients in a little container with humidity can always make things a little bit more complicated. So yeah, these here I transplanted from another container where they were not doing well. So I put these in healthy new soil, but I'm still not seeing substantial growth. This could be poor genetic health too. This is also Humcus Roro. I didn't know it when I saw it, but you know, it just makes sense. It's not that Humcus Roro is that one particularly bad hybrid. It's just something that happens a lot with these kind of hybrids, with Hildewinterer hybrids or Acacia hybrids. They just maybe they sometimes don't match with certain plants, and also there might not be that huge gene pool that the species has. Hildewinterer, not so many huge populations, you know. It took a while. It was a very, like, of all the cactus genera that were discovered, these were discovered very late. And that means that they weren't so widely distributed. Okay, yeah, in this case, I don't have hope for the seedlings. I will not, I don't really will take them out, you know. I will leave them if they can grow. If they at some point manage to grow healthily, then I will give them a chance, repot. But at this point, I wouldn't bet on it. I would not. It doesn't look like it. One seedling is so variegated, it might not even be able to survive. And the other seedling is yellowish, also not so healthy. And the green one doesn't have an active tip. Somehow that thing has terminated. Not looking good. Okay, so here, this is something that where I take them out now. Feel like I should have already taken those out. Not sure why they are still in. But these need fertilizer. It could be variegation, but I want to fertilize them to be sure. So these are maybe 2.5 months old, getting close to 3 now. Let's have a look at the label. Lubivia winteriana crossed with Saarwellen. Interesting cross. I like everything with Lubivia winteriana. And in this case, the idea was to have a columnar, like a somewhat columnar hybrid combined with it. I was trying to get something more columnar out of Lubivia winteriana, like the body. And the flower is already great, you know. If you can increase the size, that could be great. Hey, good morning. Guten Morgen. Welcome to the stream. Great to have you. Thank you for joining. So yeah, that was the idea for the hybrid cross here. We will see how it goes. I will take them out now. They are big enough. This is the size where I can take them out. And I will start fertilizing, start watering them now. It's good that when they have reached that kind of size, then it's just likely that at some point luck will run out in a bag. And one of the seedlings might have a little injury, and then you are at some point forced to take them out. And yeah, they are just at that point when all those kind of problems can start. So it's good to have them out now. The soil will dry out. That will keep the problems with fungus gnats away. So yeah, they look good. They look really good. I'm pleased to see that they are doing so well. They are growing a little bigger. Maybe they actually grow columnar. That would be great. Would be the goal of the hybrid cross would be reached. Here's another one of the Loxanthinopsis crosses, hybrid seeds that I have sown out, and nothing came, nothing grew. This just does not look promising, unfortunately. So this goes to the heater again, and if nothing happens, then at some point it will go to the trash can. Here's another of the takeaway containers, food takeaway containers. A lot of seedlings. Problem with the takeaway containers is you need to sow them deep. You can't really fill that thing up with soil, because otherwise you get in trouble with the lid. So then you have them pretty deep down. And usually when you have seedlings like this later, you know, they get a lot more light like this. So this works for sowing out. This is actually sold for as a takeaway container for salad dishes. Yeah, and it works. But later on, this will get difficult. Little cactus seedlings here in the first days, maybe. Oh, and this is from Amun Re. I really like that. I really, really like to see that. Check this out. I didn't think we would get so many seeds, like so many seedlings in this case, because I did some tests to look into the germination rate viability, and it failed. Do you sterilize the soil before sowing? I don't really believe you can, like, sterility. You gotta put in a lot of work, a lot of time to get the soil sterile, and then you're kind of introducing the seeds. You know, the seeds are usually the common source for contamination, so you would have to disinfect the seeds too. It's just a lot of additional steps that I try to avoid. I sometimes pasteurize soil with boiling water to get rid of fungus gnat, that kind of stuff. But apart from that, I work in a very living environment, living soil everywhere, sowing out. Every now and then, there's different kind of weeds coming up, and of course, it's better. It's always better if you have the time and the setup to sterilize soil before using it. You will definitely reduce the risk that you have a contamination. So it's definitely worth the time. You will reduce the risk that you have fungus gnat problems, or that a snail comes up in the seedlings. But yeah, it also on a regular basis adds time to your schedule that you have to do every time you're sowing out. It's rather difficult to just store soil, like in a ready to use way after sterilization without it becoming unclean again. So yeah, I'm mostly trying to work out of the bag when I get sowing soil. I open that thing up and try to avoid any kind of contamination, being it like spores from the area or fungus gnats, that kind of thing. I'm very like careful about not having holes in the bag, so I try to work out of the bag without having to invest so much time. But every now and then it backfires. Those moments happen. That's just you pick you kind of decide what way you want to do. I know the risk, but every now and then I regret my decision. Like it was with the fungus gnats. I would have hoped I had invested the time to pasteurize the soil back then. But yeah, you're just, I don't know. I'm doing so much stuff. Like there's so many living things around here, little insects, spiders. You get used to it. You get used to making it work with all of that around it. The fungus gnats, they can be a huge problem, but the moment you have the seedlings, like you have it out of the pot, they are usually done. Yeah, that's it for them. So for most problems that you get, you can also react again. That is the good thing. Like the longer you do it, you have failed in so many impressive ways. You kind of get creative in finding new ways to make it work. So yeah, let's have a look at this one here. Also, a lot of seedlings. Very pleased with that. Almost too many seedlings. Actually way too many seedlings, but it happens. So this is the Arboricola Zelly Pink Stripes hybrid cross. Yeah, a lot of healthy seedlings. I really hope this hybrid cross is good, because if not, we have a lot of seedlings, and Arboricola is pretty hardy. A lot of those might actually grow. Hey mate, welcome to the stream. Great to have you. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate it. So yeah, if pink stripes here can really influence the flower, it would be great. I would love to have Arboricola, but with pink striped flower. That's the goal here, and that's what I want to have. So the mother in this cross was a hybrid with the Zelly. So the flower wasn't perfectly white. It was more like rose colored, pinkish, really nice flower. So in this case here, pink stripes coming with all of the color, with a lot of contrast. Could work. Could totally fail. Who knows? I haven't seen like a lot of white Arboricola hybrids where they go back to the botanical species, but it can happen. Okay, this is the same. I've sown out too many. At first the germination rate was bad, then I thought the seeds are trash, I need to use more of them, but turns out they are actually good. So Arboricola, Syrensia Arboricola crossed with Zelly Zelly being a Scopulicola grandiflora hybrid. Variegated grandiflora, I think. And yeah, pink stripes on the other side. This will get busy in this container very fast. I can tell you that. So at some point, we will transplant them into the square pots. Square pots is not really... it works better with the drainage holes. I like that about them. Yeah. Looking okay. Got to be very careful with these to not overwater, because the water is instantly pooling. Hey, yeah, Amun Ray is among my favorite hybrids. I've been really, I'm starting to really appreciate it. It's one of the best hybrids that I have. One of my favorites. Every time, like, there are these special moments every now and then when I film it, it looks really great. So way up on my list of favorite plants, but I have a few. There are just too many good ones, like with pink stripes. If you have seen pink stripes flowering, it's a very cool flower. Sunny is a great hybrid that I really like. Impressive flowers for such a small plant, you know. I like Bamboy. Bamboy was so great. I like Ulf Meerbold, that Telegonoides hybrid from last year. There's so many good ones, you know. Hey, welcome to the stream. Great to have you. Thank you for joining. So yeah, I really can't pick one that is the best. They're all great in certain ways, you know. Yeah, we're growing different kind of hybrids here, different kind of cactus hybrids. For example, this one here is Lobevia hybrid by Cactus Vers, called Vers 12. This is Vers 12 crossed with Vers 11. So interesting combination here. I have a lot of hybrids. Yes, Sörensia, Echinopsis, Lobevia, but also a few columnars. Everything that that has the potential for amazing flowers. I'm really trying to get the best kind of flowers that I can get. Also great for the time-lapse videos that I post, that kind of stuff, you know. And apart from that, I'm also growing a few chilies here. Here's a little chili that I want to repot now pretty soon, and I'm proud of that. They are growing, they are developing. Everything is turning out nicely. I'm happy. So yeah, for the kind of cross that this is good. I really like this. A lot of seedlings here, and I have seen hybrid crosses between Vers 12 and others where there were only 1 or 2 seedlings. So seeing so many, really nice. In this case here, yeah, not so great. Not good, not terrible. This is also Lobevia, Vers 12, also, no, Vers 11. Yes, Vers 11. That's what I meant. Some of them are just not as healthy as others. 1 or 2 look variegated. Here's the small seedling here, that white thing. Doesn't really strike me as the kind of seedling that survives. Apart from that, yeah. Here, this one, there's a lying seedling where I'm not seeing a lot of chances. Actually, we could take that out already. It's having a really bad time. Apart from that, yeah. The other 3 also don't look overly healthy to me. They might survive, but probably not. Like long term, we will have to fight for them. We will see. Weak seedling doesn't mean you lose it. It just means that at some point they can fail. Just, you know, they came up, germinated, but it wasn't really serious. didn't really mean it. So let's do a few more of these here, and then I'm watering. Have a lot of containers that that need to be checked, that need to be watered. I was born in Germany, as you know, born in Saarland, Germany. So yeah, some of them variegated, not really looking healthy. Also here, there are one or two that have really grown here. Really actual spines and that kind of stuff. You know, you only see it on one or two seedlings in this whole container. The others might not have a chance. They might not grow. Sometimes you have those seedlings, those weakish seedlings. We would see where they go. Some of them are even green, so they might have a chance. You know, it's not that it's totally impossible. But a lot of them do not seem to be able to produce chlorophyll, and that is a big issue. Let's see what it is. Imperialis, Echinopsis imperialis, a hybrid, basically an older hybrid. I don't know from when exactly, but I would say 70s, maybe 60s, 70s. Hybrid between Cergansia telegona and Echinopsis irisi grandiflora. Like teleflora, but different. You know, every time you do the cross with different plants, you can get different results. And in this case, this is a unique one where I'm not sure where there was another parent involved, but I couldn't really tell which one. And this is the one, but it has amazingly big flowers. A lot of people have messaged me and told me that the plant is like Bach's faux scope, like faux scopolicola. That's the kind of plant that this is. Interesting big flowers. Like they were so big, they opened up widely, and I was amazed. I was standing there in front of the plant and was staring at the huge flower. And at the time, it didn't have color. Like the original, the mother plant where this is from, it is flowering white. But the flowers are so impressive that I thought if you can get if you can get color into that flower, it would be amazing. And yeah, so in this case, I have crossed it with Bamboy or something like that, Bamboy pink stripes, and this could be really good. This could be really nice. We will see. Okay. These here have reached the size where I can take them out. Probably. What seems to be the problem? What are you concerned with ventilation? I would love to hear that, because these are little tiny seedlings that need to be in a bag for 2.5 months. How do you ventilate that? How can I put a ventilator in there? And when they take out, they have a ventilator. They have ventilation. They look great. They look great. So I don't understand the, so I don't understand the comment. All seedlings here that we're showing, they look great for the age they have being in the bags here. Some of them have genetic problems, Some of them might have genetic problems like being an intergeneric hybrid, but that has nothing to do with ventilation. So yeah, if there's more to it, please explain. Otherwise, they are doing great. So yeah, these here at the point where I can take them out. starting to fertilize them, because you can see when you have them in a bag, leave them in there in the old soil, at some point you will have to start fertilizing, and these are at that point. And these are Hilde Winterer. For Hilde Winterer, these are looking great. These look really, really good for Hilde Winterer. I've seen so many sick Hilde Winterer seedlings that I'm always glad when I see healthy ones. And those will come out now. They will get the first fertilizer. But yeah, I am pleased, because Hilde Winterer, my goal here was to cross Hilde Winterer with a columnar hybrid, with something to bring to get that snake-like body of, like that Cactus-like body. I don't like that. I want to get something that's more columnar, and I've been trying to breed that in, trying to get a more columnar body into Hilde Winterer, because they, like, when I have them, they are hanging basket plants. You either have to hang them down and then they are like this and take out a lot of light, or they are on the ground blocking 2 meters or 1 meter of space, Okay, so here, fully variegated seedlings in between. This is exactly what I mean when I say genetically. Sometimes you have those unhealthy seedlings. They are the result of an unhealthy cross. So let's have a look who the parent was in this case, like who the mother was. This is Lobivia hybrid by Rolf Autenried. I haven't seen so many variegated seedlings from it. But yeah, in this case, it was probably the father that, whatever father was used here, wasn't really compatible. So I will clean a little up here. I've seen that a few of the seedlings were lying on the ground. I don't like that. I often love to clean up a little to avoid that some of the seedlings are so close to the soil that they start to decompose. When they touch the soil all the time in a wrong way, that is very bad for seedlings. And apart from that, those variegated seedlings, they will probably not stand a chance. You would have to graft them, and I'm not doing that. I'm definitely not grafting. You would have to graft that plant for the rest of its life, and I'm not that type of person. So a little bit of water, not much, because these are still in the bag. I want to take them out very soon. But the variegated seedlings would be gone within a few days when you take it out. And I want to give them a little bit of time to grow. And the bigger ones, the green ones, they aren't really that big either. These are still maybe 2 or 3 weeks away from being able to be taken out of the bag. Okay. So let's have a look at these. This was something we have sown out. Could be that we are throwing them in the trash here. Yeah, this is Leuchtfeuer. This will go into the trash. German hybrid by Rolf Autenried, I think also. Really good with Lobivia crassicaulis. But yeah. 0 germination rate. I'm sorry. Okay, I kind of misunderstood that. Okay, so every now and then you have someone that's just there to heckle. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just that the moment you start putting little holes into the bag, you have that problem again with the fungus gnats. I apologize. I wasn't really, it's just at that point you don't have that. You have them either in humidity. Where they need the humidity, you can't really take them out, or they have reached the size where you can do it. And at the point when you have a little hole in there, you have fungus gnats instantly filling it up, and yeah, that's why that isn't really so easy to just slowly. Usually you take the time to carefully adjust them. But when I do it here, I usually try to spray them more often during the day. So yeah, let's water. I have a lot of seedlings that I want to water. And again, I apologize if I misunderstood that. I just didn't know what you meant. So let's get started here. Yeah, these are looking good, you know. They're looking good, they're growing, but they need to be singled out sometime soon. But we have to single out so many that space will certainly become an issue. So just watering them now. Just giving them a little time with the water. Trying to just get the soil to be flexible again, you know, just having flexibility again. Because every now and then when they dry out, this soil apparently bricks pretty badly. Like bricking is a thing that soil does when it dries out completely, and in this case, it loses all flexibility, and that can make it difficult. Like when you're watering later, it kind of pushes away the water. It can't really get down to the seedlings because the top layer of soil is so hardened up that it's water repellent. Hey, good morning, Robert. Great to see you. Thank you for joining. So yeah, let's have a look at these. I transplanted these, and I'm amazed because the soil has already sunken in a little, like a centimeter. That is how that happens when you suddenly have seedlings that sit like in half the pot. When I filled that up, it didn't look like that, you know. You always have to put in extra soil because when it sinks, when you're starting to water, so much of it will sink down, be compressed a little. Okay, let's see what it is. Uwe Kahler hybrid from 2024. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I really do. I'm doing my best. It's just, I don't know. This is really hard sometimes. There are hard days at the moment. You never really, you know, difficult times for everyone. Doing my best. So thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, I kind of invested a little bit extra time to get that soil wet again. I'm glad that I brought this thing because in the last weeks I've been watering on the desk and the desk was flooding every time. After every time I watered, I had to clean the desk for half an hour. So yeah, so now I have this nice tub here, and it's great. So check these here, little bit bigger. I had transplanted them. They were not doing well in the other soil. Might have even been in the washed pumice with the white stuff that's in there. Every now and then when I transplant with washed pumice, a little bit of it finds the way into the new container. But they look great. I like them. They are growing. They need more water. But you can see the difference. Like this is sowing soil, and sowing soil is kind of able to hold the water a little bit longer. But in a good way, without having excessive like risk for rotting, like for rotting roots. It's just relatively soft on the root. It comes with extra perlite, I think, to just make the soil a little bit lighter. And the seedlings are developing great in that. I like that. I really like that. So for now, I've watered them, and later today I would spray them 2 or 3 more times. It happens. It needs to happen, or you will instantly see them falling back, turning reddish. Let me show you a case where I didn't water enough. Well, these are even redder. Check these out. So these have a pretty pretty bad discoloration. I'm not sure if it shows in the video because it doesn't really look that red in the video, but they are really stressed. This is a bad case. So if they are getting red, you're not watering enough, or the lamp is too strong. Like the combination of both is it, so you can reduce the intensity of the lamp if you just can't water enough, or turn down the temperature. At a certain point, they will stop growing. That is what you got to keep in mind. You know, the moment you reduce the temperature, there's a point when they no longer grow. You need to look it up. It's different. It's probably different for different plants. I would guess something like 25 degrees, but it could easily be more. But there's a point when the temperature is below, seedlings will not grow much. They would still grow if you have them under the lamp, but not much. But the higher the temperature, the more water they will lose. That is the classic problem that a lot of people, that brings a lot of people into trouble when they have cacti in the house. They need a lot of water. Just room temperature, it creates so much all the humidity goes away instantly. And that means you have to water a lot. Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a great night. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. Finally, some off time. We deserve it. So yeah, here I singled them out a little bit. It's not poorly done. It's not great. It's okay. For now, this pot is getting full. Like when they actually grow, then this might not be enough like space. I might have to single them out. But for now, I honestly think we will lose some seedlings that will just not have long-term the ability. They don't have what it takes. They don't have all the chlorophyll that they would need to have. They look variegated. That's why I think they will single themselves out here a little bit more. A few of them, definitely. There are many cactus seedlings that can produce chlorophyll that are variegated. You know, it's not always a deal breaker. But often when I see it, I think about, do I want to graft that thing or not? Because that's the question that you have to ask yourself. If you see that kind of variegation, you could always lose them at any time. So in this one, this is one that was dropped, and we need to correct a little. There was poorly, like here's a seedling that is lying here. I want to fix that. I've seen that on the shelf just now, and I wanted to cry. So I need to fix that. Taking out a little pebble here, piece of root bark, something like that, because I don't want to have that on the top layer. I don't really care if it's down there, but having it on the top layer is really annoying. Every time you move that thing, the pebble rolls around, and on the way it takes down a few seedlings. You know, just the roots a little bit, giving them a little bit more stability. I love that. By the way, here's a seedling that I do not like at all. For one, it's leaning over. This one here, leaning over, and the root, the very root, the base where the soil begins, that looks reddish. I don't like that. When I see that, and it has that orange glow coming from the base, bad sign. Damping off, orange rot, that kind of stuff could be fungus gnat. So I'm trying to correct that. I've moved the seedling a little. Okay. So trying to get the roots into the soil without breaking them. But this seedling doesn't have a lot of long-term, doesn't have a good prognosis. Here's a seedling that I take out. This one was unhealthy. Looks like fungus gnat, to be honest. the way the seedling was gone, you know, like the root was gone, getting bad fungus gnat memories. Let's call it that. Okay, so here I also have 3 seedlings that have been poorly positioned. I fixed that. It's really not easy here. Here's a piece of wood. I also want to take that out. That's why it's good to not sow out and stuff with pieces of wood. It's not a huge deal breaker for me. It doesn't really very often if you have a fungal spore that germinates on the piece of wood. It's a wood-loving mushroom, and it doesn't grow on the seedling. So that isn't really a problem, but it bothers, you know, it keeps the seedlings from getting light. Every now and then when you do something, it is in the way. Okay. I hope this will work because the roots don't look good here. I'm getting the feeling this could have been attacked by fungus gnat. I'm seeing a lot of instability, instability in the seedlings, you know, like that leaning over. I see that on a few. I really hope they will turn around. Soil will be dried out, and that's why I now take a lot of effort into potting them up, having them firmly in the soil, because when it's drying out now, I want that root to be. I don't want that seedling to poorly pot, you know, where it doesn't really have a connection, a solid connection. That is something that I usually take great care of with seedlings like that already have problems with the roots. Because then they can often recover. That gives them when you give them that stability, that extra stability, they can often recover. So okay, I'm pleased with the result. It's not looking good, but it gives them a solid connection. Okay. Yeah, these need water. These need water urgently. Yesterday. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I'm watering these, and I can see a little fungus gnat flying around. Welcome to the Fungus Gnat channel, everyone. It's great to be back. I'm dreaming. I'm having bad dreams of fungus gnats. They don't really cause a lot of problems when you have the seedlings outside, but they are just annoying to see. And yeah, but in order to get rid of them, it's really hard. When you have soil like presented, they will find it. You would really have to work with glue traps, and I don't like glue traps. I don't really believe that. I don't know. I wouldn't like the idea, you know, using glue traps for insects. So I never really used that. That might help to reduce the problems, but it's something that I don't want to use. It's, you know, it's my fault when I lose seedlings due to fungus gnats. I see it in a way that it's my fault. It's not their fault. It's my fault for letting them come up, for allowing a humidity of the soil that promotes their growth. Very often, and it's the same with other stuff, like with like spider mites, for example. When I see spider mites, I do not think that it's their fault. Usually when you have spider mites, there was something previously that happened that caused that plant to be so weakened that the spider mites could really get to a point where the population was totally out of control, you know? Like usually a healthy plant should be able to resist that. So yeah, and very often when I've seen spider mite problems, it was related to not watering enough before that. So the not watering the plant weakened the immune system so much that the spider mites had a great way to reproduce, whatever, you know, to populate that thing. So yeah, here they need to be singled out. For now they have gotten water, but it's getting difficult because you do not see which seedlings need better connection to the soil here. When you have so many seedlings, you lose track of what's happening below that sea of seedlings. Okay. Yeah, a little bit too deep in the pot. Always easier. I mean, if they were higher now, you know, if you had them above the pot now, that would make things a lot easier. They would get better hydration, like better ventilation, you know. But unfortunately, it is kind of hard to kind of fix that at this point without really repotting everything. And they have a little bit more time in this small pot. In 2 or 3 months, they need to be repotted anyway. So I'm waiting until then, and then I'm doing it. So these are getting water here. And later I will spray them a few more times during the day. Unfortunately, growing stuff really requires you to have that fixed schedule that you always have, that you stick to. It really helps. Okay, so here these are a little bit deep in the pot also. Yeah, but for now it's not a problem. They're inside under a plant lamp, strong lamp, so they will get light no matter what. But at some point it will be better to pot them higher up. When I'm singling them out, I will pot them higher up. And that aside, the soil here is also dried out, really dried out. So I will water it a little bit more. Waiting a little, just letting it sit, like letting the water soak in a little, really helps. Sometimes when you're watering, when you're just spraying them, and the top layer is wet, that goes away so fast. Sometimes the water evaporates before it even reaches the root system. So it's important to kind of do it a few more times. Okay, so these are a little higher, but also a lot of space issues coming up. They need water. They have a reddish discoloration, classic stress discoloration. Yeah, apart from that, Uvocale seeds. Let me see what kind of. The mother plant is a hybrid by Walter Stocker, Flying Dragon Cantora 1433, and Zisala is the mother, is the father. So yeah, good hybrid, good cross. Could be like Flying Dragon has that tendency to have these huge flowers, and in this case, if you can get the color of Zisala in it, would be great. So the seedlings will get a little bit more water, trying to really let it soak in here also, because they have that reddish discoloration that I mentioned so often, like classic stress, classic turning red because they are getting too much light and not enough water, or one of both. You know, it can be just one, that they don't get light but they don't get water. Then they will also show that discoloration. It's stress. It's just an indicator for stress. You often see it on other plants when the temperature drops, when it's getting frosty. Some plants do that, and these here do it when the intensity gets to them. So this is good. We'll spray them again in 3-4 hours maybe. I would see. This one's also getting full. Needs to be singled out, especially here. This is especially bad because you have high and low. You have that kind of a mountain in there with different. If you have one consistent layer of seedlings, you can see them all. But this makes it harder and harder to really see all the seedlings that are involved here. There's a seedling down there. You don't realize it. You just, at some point, it's rotting from down there if something happens. So we will have to single them out. I hate it. I don't want to do it. So much work. Singling out, and then you have, imagine like you need to pot these up into 20 pots or so, that's a lot of space for one hybrid. So we will have to really maybe sort out a few very soon or graft on them. I consider grafting on a few seedlings, do a few grafting stock, like seedling grafts on the channel, on the stream. That could be great. These here, mediocre. Not liking it so much. Here's a seedling that lies there that has fallen over. I don't know. I want to inspect that. I really don't like how that looks. Getting bad fungus gnat wipes all over again. So let me. I will try to bury the roots again here. I don't know why it even came out. Like that size of a seedling shouldn't be so easy to unroot. Not sure what happened. Very often it's the cat. The answer, when I do not know what happened to a seedling, very often the answer is the cat. So I will just try to get that seedling in the soil again. And the soil is so dry, so I need to water. If soil is dry, you can't really work with it very well. Everything that I do, I put water on it. It gives you visibility, maybe aside from when you're grafting, okay? When you're grafting, you don't want that water because you would instantly have an infection. But apart from that, like when you're working with seedlings, water can really help. Also makes the soil so much easier to just shape. So much better. Yeah, apart from that, some of the seedlings look a little bit dried up, like they haven't been getting to enough water. Not sure why, honestly. They get water, but every now and then you have single seedlings in that thing that are just unlucky, that have a bad position and kind of dehydrate a little bit more. That could be the case. We will see. I fixed the position of them. Let me show you again now. Just a little bit more stability, structure, important values in life. Also good for cactus seedlings. So here's another one, and I want to cry when I see it. This is work. This really needs to be singled out, and we need to do it. I've been cleaning new pots, and we will do that very soon, like in the next days, where we will just single out seedlings. And this is one of the at that point you will run out of space, and one of the seedlings here can just split because the other seedlings press against it. At some point, especially when they are so deep. If they were bigger, if they were higher now, the way they were supposed to be, they wouldn't run out of space here. They could just grow wider, but here they can't. So another reason to fill the pot up with soil all the time, fully, gives you a little bit more time to let them grow. These I would have had to single them out anyway with so many, but still, it gives you a little bit of time if you need it. So I will water this. I can't even get to the label. I can't even see a label. So many seedlings are in there. I really hope I haven't forgotten it. No. I tried turning it around to look for the label, but I could feel the soil like in little pieces falling out. So I had to stop, had to abort. Okay, a little bit more water. They need a little bit water, and then I'm happy. So, and later I will do a few seedling inspection videos again. I brought so many plants into the house now, little seedlings from the previous years, last 2 years, that still need a little bit more time inside. And almost all of them need work. And I want to film it. I want to show what I do. So I will bring that. I will bring the camera and I will film every container separately. To always show what I do when I how to fix the problems that are just normal in the beginning. So yeah, I watered this, let the water soak in, but they need to be repotted. Jesus Christ. Okay. So here, also, but apart from that, they look good. They are growing. I really like how they are growing. They are growing out of the pot. I like that they are already so big that they can that they come out. The body's interesting. Looks a little bit like Telegonus. So let's see what that is. Oh, this is my hybrid between a columnar cactus as a mother and a Telegonus hybrid as a father. Telegonus, it was a hybrid that is labeled Tuna riensis, but it's actually some sort of a Telegonus hybrid, something like that, with a unique flower, and it passes down that trait. And I'm very happy to see it on the seedlings now, to see the seedlings already having that kind of weird, like you can see that they have 3 unique spines, always like pointed outwards, and you can already see it here. You can already see it if you look very closely, and you can already see Telegonus. Usually when you use it in a hybrid cross, it passes down a very unique rib shape with the areole shape, that classic Telegonus bump that you often see on the ribs, on the areoles, and you can already see it here, like that tubercle like kind of thing. Really nice. Looking forward to these. Nice to see. Here, yeah, this was one of the containers that is interesting to me. I really like, there's different types, different body shapes, different types of seedlings in there, and I really like that. These have normal spines, so this could be normal classic body type, and these could be mutated, crested, variegate, something like that, and I try to get them all to a decent size. For now it's going good. The difficult thing is to water them just enough that they make it, but not so much that you run in trouble with the fungus gnats. So a little bit more water here. Soil is dry again. They have minimal discolorations from the lamp. You might not even be able to see them in the video, but they are there. It's sometimes not classic red. Sometimes it's all kinds of shades of red. Sometimes even orange. That's how the cactus seedlings just indicate that stress. Apart from that, yeah, they are growing. They look healthy. I like them. Here we need to fix some more. This has been transplanted. I think I dropped some. So let me just have a look if we can improve the situation, because here's a spot with seedlings spread out like a flower. I don't like that. This is usually when you have a ball of seedlings with that share a common root ball, but it's not well potted in. It's not equal. At some point, you might have to break it apart, take them apart, and pot them up separately, because that makes them so hard to pot them all up the same way, that they all get contact with the root, like that the root touches the soil. I'm not sure if you can see this. See? So we might have to take them apart. Yeah. So this is the thing. And very often when you have that, some seedlings will just have they can't really stand normally, like they don't have a normal connection to the soil. The others pull them down or pull them like sideways. So yeah, I'm taking that apart, that thing, that ball. You can also split it up in smaller groups of seedlings. That is often a good idea. Still gives the seedlings a little bit of stability. And you can still single them out a little bit. Because if I had left them like that, we would have lost half of them. Long term, it's always about, if you see something, fix it. It's really like that. Because when I was younger, I was seeing all those things too. I was just not fixing them. I thought maybe I don't have to. But there's a reason for every problem that you get. There's usually a care mistake that you did that you can trace it back to. And so yeah, that is since realizing that, I started to take a little bit more care to single them out, to give them space, make sure they are connected, make sure they really have connection to the soil. Really don't like this. Maybe we will single them out at some point. There's still too many seedlings in this thing here. That makes it also a little bit more difficult, because everywhere, like when you start singling them out a little, but they still touch, they kind of, if you have an infection, it happens fast, where it can spread from one seedling to another. Okay. Here are two that I want to fix that are also not well in the soil. You're not putting them on there, like just putting them on top of the soil. You really have to give them connection. They have to it's their lifeline. They need that. And I'm constantly fixing that. Because if you start watering, some seedlings will always fall down, fall over. You have to fix it all the time. And sometimes when you don't have to fix it, you have to transplant into a new container, because it's not fixable anymore. Then you have to transplant. At some point, they will have enough roots that they don't fall over anymore, but not in the beginning. Okay, good. I'm happy here. Check it out. It's not good. There are too many. But space is a luxury that I don't have right now. So we are growing a little bit more in small space, and then we will, when they are a little bit bigger, then I will really look closely what we have there. We'll look at the body there are many hybrid crosses that I do, where I can already tell within the first 6 months that it failed the goal that I wanted to reach with that. Usually when I want a certain body type, when I make a hybrid cross and I want a certain body type with a certain type of flower, and when the body type fails already, I can tell early and I can sort them out. In this case, I would probably not throw them away. I would give them to someone else, but that can help me to sort out whole containers very fast. These here need water, singled out. I had these in here. I had forgotten them earlier. They need water now. And here's some more. All have a little red color discoloration. Not really bad, but they have it. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Great to have you. Thank you. Yeah. They have a discoloration showing stress, but they are still healthy. If you look closely, they have healthy spines, healthy growth. We're on a good path. There's something in them like that wants to live. You can really see that the seedlings are starting to grow. And you can't say that about every seedling, like every one of them, every single cross, but most of them are growing now. Okay. So this goes out. Just saw something that looks disgusting. Let me fix that. So here's a container. This moss here, it keeps bothering me. It keeps coming back. So we will transplant the seedlings now. So let me just get something to break the soil apart, because the soil here looks really, really hard. Check it out. This has bricked because it's so dry. Here's new soil, and I want to transplant them into this new soil, and maybe we will put them back in the bag, because so many of the small ones don't seem to be doing well adjusting to the new humidity. So I will start taking out little seedlings, and then we'll see. I have the tub for watering because it had been excessively dirty in my office. Like I was sitting here, you know, when you're watering, you always have stuff coming out of the bottom. Yeah, it's just a little bit cleaner, allows me to keep a clean desk without having to invest an hour every time after the stream or before the stream, you know. And when every now and then when I do a video from my office, the desk is awfully dirty, you know, that just leaves a bad impression. So I try to work a little bit cleaner now. So yeah, but it's the same. It just keeps away the flooding of the desk. Trying to avoid that. So I'm taking the bag. They just don't adjust well. They were too small to be taken out of the bag. And the reason I did it was because of the moss that you see here. So I can't just put them back into humidity. And I want to put them back into humidity, but I can't do it in that soil. So I brought new soil here, and I will try to plant the little seedlings into that, and then it will go back into the soil, into the bag, into humidity. Healthy seedling. That one's actually big enough to survive, but maybe we can save one or two more of the others. Might not be able to do that, but I'm trying. This is just one of the hybrid crosses that had damping off in the beginning. Probably from the fungus gnat. So yeah, good that we are transplanting them. But a lot of them don't have healthy roots. Should have maybe transplanted a little earlier. The reason I left them in the old soil was that I trusted that they might actually make it, but it doesn't look like that. So let's a little bit water here. Water makes everything easier to work with here. No matter what I use, no matter what medium I use, if I use washed pumice, I really try to wet everything, keep it like get it wet, because then you don't have so much dust, you don't have so much mineral dust that you have to avoid breathing it in. Being a cactus breeder, you work with so many different minerals sometimes. So I try to, when I do it, when I have to work with it, I try to use water to keep the dust away. When I'm repotting something that where I know that there will be a lot of dust, in that case, I always wet the soil before I'm doing anything, because the moment you're taking it apart, you will stand in a cloud of dust. That's the kind of little stuff that I really try to avoid. I know so many cactus breeders that had trouble, like with the lungs. COPD, very common among cactus breeders. Friend of mine passed away last year due to COPD. So make sure if you really work with stuff that where you stand in the dust, wear a mask, something to filter out the worst kind of mineral dust, and not one of the cheap ones, but the really expensive ones that are good, they are worth the money. And I mean, you don't have to do it every time, but if you do something where you really stand in the middle of a cloud of dust, might be a good investment. It costs maybe $30 if it costs like that, if it's even that expensive, So yeah, seedlings here look terrible. I'm considering not wasting time on them. So I try to pot them up nonetheless. I see this like Ivan Drago, If they make it, they make it, and if not, that's okay. I will give them a chance. I will put this in a bag now. I've just seen that they have been doing worse every week. I might have already put, it would have been better to put them maybe a week earlier. But yeah, I had hoped that they would develop better, that they would grow better, that they would continue to grow a little, and at some point outgrow the trouble that they had, but it wasn't the case. If all else fails, we have one healthy seedling, and if not, yeah, that's okay. So still trying to position them in a way that they really have a good solid connection, because some of them already have discolorations, and when a seedling already has discoloration, highly unlikely that they will recover. But the discoloration already tells me that things haven't been great. So I'm doing a little bit more work to get them in the soil. Good connection. Lifeline. Okay. I need a lifeline too. So yeah, let's put this in here, in the bag. These were out already. I like, compared to all the others, this was one of the maybe 10 that adjusted poorly to being taken out of the bag, and that is something that the sooner you realize that it's happening, the better. But sometimes it's really hard to tell how a seedling will develop. You just can't tell sometimes. So in this case, it was about time that I put them in the bag again. Might have done it a little sooner. I will keep it in there for 2 or 3 weeks now, and then maybe some of the seedlings have recovered. If none of them have recovered, I will take it out again, out of the bag, out of humidity. Like the next weeks will tell me, like will be crucial, and within the next weeks it will we will see if any of those seedlings will continue to grow. Probably not. At that point, we will focus on that big seedling that we have. Okay, so let's continue with the watering. Let's bring back the water tub of doom. Okay, yeah, check out these here. Not great. I don't like the color. They need more water. They need to be watered more often. I really need someone that waters my plants every day, 3 times a day. People always, like when I was younger, I always had trouble with plants because I never really had that long-term concentration, that focus on something that you really need to, where you need to plan your day, you know, a little bit, where you know you have that responsibility to do the watering 3 times a day, that kind of long-term planning over a week. I didn't have that. Every now and then I remembered, oh, I forgot to water, and then I watered, and that's just not enough. Usually when I did that, it was too late. So yeah, and that has gotten better over the years. That is something that you can learn. I'm not sure, but at some point you just realize, you see what you need to do to keep them alive. It's one thing to be told. It's one thing to read it somewhere how often you need to water, but it's another to know that if I do not water them today, tomorrow they will look like crap, you know, like that. So yeah, I want to water them a little bit more now, making sure that the soil really has time to saturate with the water. Very nice. So, and that one seedling that is lying there, I want to fix that. I want to correct the position of that seedling. I want to make sure it has the lifeline back. I'm not sure where. Yeah. Okay. So I just carefully press on top of the base, like of the root section, trying to get it a little bit deeper into the soil, and also carefully moving it, trying to get the soil at the bottom a little bit like compressed to give it stability, that doesn't happen again. It could be that this was fungus gnats, but it didn't look like it. It still had a big root. It looked more like a big root, had so much weight that the seedling couldn't counterbalance, and then it fell over. Apart from that, they got fertilizer. Color is suspect, but in my opinion, this could be variegation like so often. We would see. Did I have that already? I'm not sure, but this is full. This is full. Really need a bigger pot for these. I might need a bigger house, you know, like a house full of cactus seedlings. This is getting to a point where I really need to look into the parents to sort out. Otherwise, we're running out of space. These need water. They don't look bad, but there are always those. It's basically a problem of having too many seedlings in a pot. Check it out. The seedlings here on top, you know, that like you have that again, that wavy kind of structure, and you have seedlings here that press everything up, and these seedlings at that spot, they lose contact to the soil. So that is a problem with too many seedlings, and you can avoid having that by not sowing out so much, not putting so many seeds in one pot, or singling out earlier in the beginning. Like now, we could single this out in 10 and it would be all right, you know. Cactus growing, you wouldn't believe how much space you need, you know. It's crazy. You just to have, let's say you have like 5 different cactus fruits and you want to see just 5 seedlings from every one. Then you need, you know, like imagine you have like 5 cacti, big cacti besides each other. And you have that for every fruit that you have, for every cross that you make, if you sow them out. That kind of, you know, it adds up. Was just looking at my battery, but we have a little bit more, so I will continue maybe 10 minutes or so. So I will water that here, and then we will have a look at the other seedlings over there. They look discolored, reddish, in need of water. Okay. By the way, check out that piece of wood that is coming out of here. I tried pulling it out, but it is like the seedlings have germinated into it. But it's not a huge problem. Like I said earlier, the classic fungal infections that you get on seedlings, they're not the type of fungal infect like that jumps from the wood to the seedling. If you have a wood decomposing mushroom germinating in a container on a piece of wood, it usually stays on the piece of wood because it's a wood decomposing mushroom. And yeah, so I'm not bothered by having wood in a container for cactus, you know. Later on, it's a whole different story. Like when you have a shady place and you have the soil, the top layer is full of pieces of wood, then you have like rotting leaves, that kind of stuff, not good. Creates that humidity, that foggy kind of environment that is not good for cacti. But yeah, that's a different story, you know. Later on and in the beginning, and also if you have a piece of wood, like a piece of root bark, a piece of wood lying somewhere, the cactus usually don't mind. I really rarely had that a cactus infection came from a piece of wood. If I have an infection, it usually, like on the seedlings, it usually comes from the seeds, from poor cleaning, or from having fungus gnat eggs in the soil. Okay, so these need water. Reddish seedlings, like everywhere, you need to water a lot. If you have depression, like I tend to have from time to time, you know, like where you have ups and downs, that's really difficult. Yeah, it costs me so much to be focused, to always be there. But it's important to do it. You know, it gives you a job to do. It's on you. If you fail them, we all failed them. Like everyone who grows cacti, we might have failed them once or twice. It just happens. So yeah, okay, this is good. I think I watered them all. No, here were some more. These look really dehydrated. They need a lot of water. So let's water this here. Water needs to soak in a little, saturate. Yeah, but apart from that, I'm happy with the seedlings. That's why, you know, at this point, I'm doing more than I'm growing them for myself. Doing a lot for the stream to have to see the seedlings. They have great light. They have great nutrients. The one thing that a lot of them don't have is excessive space. It's just a thing that, like indoors right now, good grow space. You need a lot of space. You know, you need grow space and you need space where they get light. It would be no problem to put them on 2 or 3 or 5 shelves in a room, you know, but you always have to give them light. So in order to give them all light, but yeah, somehow I was offline, but I'm apparently back. So yeah, just wanted to discuss that. Let's fix the seedlings, give the seedlings a little solid connection. Okay. So this morning I visited my parents, and I'm very happy that I did it today. I when you get older, it's the type of stuff that you have to do. And I'm constantly beating myself up for not doing it more often. And I was glad that I did it today. And when I was done, I was also seeing my grandmother, who's almost 90 now. Life is so short. Trying to do a little bit better about that. So yeah, was a good day. Every day that I'm doing that is a good day. Thank you. I was really, that's why I was a little bit, I almost came late for the stream, but I wanted to do it before. Because when I do the stream afterwards, I'm always so tired with the muscles. So yeah, was important that I did it. I didn't want to be in a situation where later today I'm beating myself up again about it. This time no. This time not. Mika is spending time with my wife over the weekend. Mika is, because we're currently in a situation where, it's like when parents get divorced with children, where currently I don't want to lock my wife out of Mika's life, because my wife loves Mika. So I try to give them time, and I usually, when my wife wants to spend time with Mika, then I'm for it, I'm not against it, because Mika loves my wife. I'm getting divorced now very soon, but it's our dog. It's our dog, and it will stay our dog. So yeah, this weekend she just spends a little time with my wife, and I'm really glad about it. It's also the little stuff, I don't want to say one day that I took my wife away from Mika, because Mika really likes her. Mika is really glad when she's there, when she sees her, and I don't want that. I didn't want to have that feeling in the dog that she always remembers that person, but she never saw her back, like that, missing someone and not even knowing why you didn't see them again. What often happens in a separation. The first dog that I had that with a girlfriend, and it was actually my dog, but I didn't want to have a huge fight at the time. So my first dog stayed with my girlfriend at the time, and I experienced how that was. It was a really bad thing for me. I really heard about that, and I didn't want someone else to go through that. So yeah, Kami's here. Yes. I was out with her a few times this morning, but it's too cold. She's just, when it's the colder it gets, the less time she wants to be out. So yeah, and I don't really take Kami with me. Kami isn't really, I don't want to stress her. I don't want to really have her like in these carrier things and that, I mean, at some point I might have to, but I try not to. So later today we will go out again, but I don't have high hope. It's really cold. It's really cold right now. And yeah, when it's so cold, she just goes to the door, looks out, and turns around again. She's really sweet. Okay. Yeah, this is all right. I think I cleaned this well enough. Yeah, I mean, it has tonight, like when I got out this morning, I noticed how cold it suddenly was again. Like that sudden feeling that winter is back. I had that this morning, and I didn't expect it, because like a week ago, the cranes came back. Winter's already on the way out. At least it felt like that, So This morning it was surprisingly cold. So I transplanted these a little. When I say transplanted, I mean just moved them. Probably not the right word. I fixed them a little, gave them a better connection to the soil, a better lifeline. Okay, yeah. Didn't get to any seeds today again. I'm really unhappy about that. I want to do more with the seeds, but it's just always the seedlings alone take so much time. Just to discuss everything that needs to be done, it's a full-time job, you know. So next time we might do a stream where I'm just doing seeds, like just cleaning cactus seeds. And yeah, might be tomorrow. So yeah, I think I'm going offline. Hope you guys had a great time. Hope you guys had fun. And yeah, have a nice weekend, everyone. Use it wisely. Use the weekend wisely. I'm looking forward to today. Being able to relax a little. Getting no mail again. Always good when that happens. Okay, thank you guys. Have a great time and thank you for being in the stream. I greatly appreciate it. See you soon. Have a nice day, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you.